All right. So welcome everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm Sara and this is yoga. So we are going to be talking about our fifth chakra today. So our throat chakra. And here is the image, and the color is blue, as you can see, and I'm pretty much in head to toe blue today because I have a lot of that in my wardrobe. So I'll read a little bit about the fifth chakra, and then we'll begin our practice. So the Sanskrit for our fifth chakra is Visuddha, which translates to purification. And it's connected to sound, vibration, rhythm, music, voice, words, and communication. It's ruled by the element of sound. The color, as I said, is blue. The location is the throat and the neck. It's also associated with your ears, your jaw, mouth, teeth, gums, tongue, and your thyroid gland. The issues of this chakra are communication, creativity, expression, opening the voice, speaking to be heard. And the basic right of this chakra is to speak and be heard. And the demon of the chakra is lies. So I'll give you a few little inspirational quotes that you can use one of these if you want during your practice today to kind of focus on to center your practice. So the first one is, I'm able to hear the voice of my soul. The next one is, I'm able and willing to speak my truth. The next one is, I'm flowing with the current of universal energy. And the last one is, I'm able to celebrate the beauty in my life. So we're going to begin our practice with a little bit of chanting, and if I can remember to do it again at the end, we will finish with chanting as well. So we're going to do 3 ohms. You guys are all muted, so I can't hear you. Nobody else can hear you except for the people that you live with or maybe your animals, and they'll probably just look at you funny, but we'll go ahead and begin. So we'll start just by connecting with our breath first. Take a few deep breaths here. All right, we'll take a nice deep inhale, and then we'll begin with 3 ohms. Inhale. I'm going to go ahead and make my way to my mat to begin our practice. So just staying in your comfortable seat. Focusing on your breath. Go ahead and drop the chin down into the chest. Stretching the back of the neck. Let your shoulders be heavy. And taking the right ear towards the right shoulder. Keeping both those shoulders down. Releasing the chin back down to the chest. And then we'll take the left ear towards the left shoulder. So moving this with your breath at your pace. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale, the chin to the chest. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. So continue to move with your breath at your pace. Let's take one more on each side. Coming back to center when we're done, lifting the chin so it's level with the floor. Keeping your shoulders and torso still, turning the head to look over your right shoulder. And releasing through center, looking over the left. So moving this with your breath at your pace. Inhale through center, exhale, alternate from side to side. Keeping your shoulders and torso still, just moving the head. Holding on one side for a breath or two, dropping the chin down toward that shoulder that you're looking over. Lifting the chin, come through center, look over the other shoulder, and again, drop that chin again. Lifting the chin, come back to center, bring the hands behind the head, looking all the way up. And release, taking some shoulder circles. First to the front. Nice big circles here. Let's take a couple more to the front. And then we'll circle those shoulders around to the back. And let's take one more. Moving into our breathing twist, inhaling, reaching arms up overhead. Exhaling, gently twisting to one side, placing one hand in front and one behind, and inhale it back up. Exhaling, twisting to the other side. So moving with your breath at your pace. Inhaling as you reach, exhaling, gently twisting. Look over your back shoulder as you twist. Maybe just look to the side, depending on how your neck is feeling today. And we'll hold on one side for a couple of extra breaths, taking that front hand to the opposite knee, pressing into the knee, going a little deeper into that. And releasing, inhaling the arms up. Exhaling, twisting to the other side. Again, front hand to opposite knee, press into the knee, go a little deeper into that twist. And release, inhaling it up. Exhaling the hands to the heart. Taking a few deep breaths here. Let's go ahead and place our hands on our knees, and we're going to do a seated cat-cow. We're going to do all the versions of cat-cow today. So we're going to start with our seated cat-cow. So on your next inhale, open the chest, looking up, arch the spine. And then on the exhale, round the back, tuck the chin into the chest. So moving this with your breath, inhale, open the heart, open the chest, look up. Exhale, round the spine to the back. So taking a few more. Thinking about the head and the neck. Let's take one more. And then we'll start to circle the torso. Inhaling the front half of the circle, exhaling the back half of the circle. So making these circles whatever size they need to be. Let's take one more in this direction. Pausing when we're rounding the spine towards the back, and then we'll circle in the other direction. So again, thinking about the head and the neck. Chin drops to the chest as we round the spine to the back, and then the chin lifts as we bring the chest to the front. Let's take one more. And then we'll come back to center, making our way to all fours for our kneeling cat-cow. So bringing our wrists underneath our shoulders, our knees under our hips, fingers spread wide, patting your knees if you're on a hard surface and this is bothering your knees. On your next inhale, dip the belly down and look up into bow. Exhaling, arching the spine, tucking the chin of the pelvis under into cat, moving with your breath. Elbows stay a little bit soft here. Let's take one more in each direction. Coming back to our neutral spine. Let's inhale, take the left arm out to the side, bring it up, twist. Exhale, thread the needle, reach that left arm through. Take your left ear either to the mat or to a block if you have one. Your right hand can stay by your face, or you can extend that arm, either reaching out to the front of the mat, reaching up toward the ceiling, or taking that arm behind the back and reaching for your left hip. So taking that right arm to the place that feels best for you and your shoulders today. And then we'll bring that right hand back by the face. Leave your left arm where it is. Pick your head up. Take the right arm across the body and bring the forehead back to the mat for a modified knot. Pressing the backs of the hands into the floor, opening up the shoulders. And then we'll release, coming back to all fours. We'll do the other side. So right arm reaches out to the side, bring it up, twist. Exhale, thread the needle, reach it through. Take your right ear to the mat. Left hand can stay by the face, or again, you can extend that arm in any direction that works for you today. And then we'll bring that left hand back by the face. Leave your right arm where it is. Pick the head up, slide that left arm across for modified knot. Bring your forehead back down. And then activate this pose by pressing the backs of the hands into the floor. Open up your shoulder blades. Create space in the upper back. And we'll release. Let's come to all fours, and then we're going to sit back onto our heels and kind of sit up a little bit. We're going to do lion's breath. This is another great pose to do at home where no one else can see or hear you, because it does involve sticking your tongue out as far as you can, like almost trying to touch your chin with your tongue and exhaling really loudly. So we're going to do a nice inhale in through the nose. And then you're going to exhale, kind of lean. I like to lean forward, lean into it, and stick my tongue out and breathe really loudly. Okay, so we'll do 4 of these, all right? So nice deep inhale through the nose, and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. And then if you need to wipe your chin off, because you kind of got some spit on it from your tongue, be my guest. Go ahead and settle into a child's pose from here. So you can extend your arms out to the front of the mat. You could stack your hands or fists and rest the forehead on them, or bring your hands back by your feet with your palms facing up. Your knees can stay together. You can separate them out to the width of the mat if you choose, finding the most comfortable version of child's pose that you can. And if child's pose doesn't work for you, you can always take puppy pose instead. Remembering you can rest anytime you need to in your child or puppy pose, anytime during the practice. You just need to take a break. Let's come back to all fours. And then just work yourselves back a little bit on your mat. We're all going to come into puppy pose now. So then walk your hands back out. So puppy pose, the hips stay stacked over the knees. You're not sitting back on the heels. And then you're going to drop your head between your arms like you would for downward facing dog. Maybe your forehead rests on the mat. Maybe your elbows rest on the mat. Maybe they stay lifted. And then we'll lift the head and look forward, lowering the elbows down on the mat, bringing the chest through the arms to come into Sphinx Pose. So stacking our shoulders over our elbows, relaxing the lower body. So if you're kind of squeezing your glutes, kind of relax them. Lift up and out of the shoulders, pulling slightly backwards with your forearms to extend the spine. And then we'll turn the head to look over our right shoulder, looking at your right heel. Release through center and look over the left. Release to center, lower the chest down. Extend your right arm straight up from the shoulder, palm is down, looking to the left. Press your left hand into the mat, roll onto your right side so that your right hand is behind you. You can stay here with your legs kind of stacked, or if you want, step your left foot behind your right thigh and open up the front of that right shoulder a little bit more. And we'll release back to the belly. Bring your right hand in. Reach your left arm out, palm down. Looking to the right. Press your right hand into the mat. Roll onto the left side of the body. And again, stay there or step your right foot behind your left thigh. Open up that shoulder. And release. Coming back onto the belly, bring your left hand in. Press back into your child's pose and either stay there or make your way into downward facing dog. Coming forward through your plank, tapping toes, lifting the hips up and back into that Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So if you like to move your first inversion, your first downward dog, be my guest, pedal out your feet, shake your head out. Take one leg in a three-legged dog at a time. Do what feels right for you and your body today. And that might be movement. That might be releasing back into your child or puppy pose again. If downward dog isn't working out for you today. Eventually, we'll all find a place of stillness in our downward dog, tucking the chin, looking back between the legs. And then we'll look up at the hands, walking the feet up towards the hands, coming into forward fold. So feet are about hip width apart. We'll soften the knees, grab opposite elbows, let the upper body hang. Shaking the head out from side to side. Taking it front to back. Swaying the whole torso from side to side. Coming back to center, releasing elbows, placing hands on shins or thighs, extend the spine, look forward. On your next exhale, fold. Soften the knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Taking a few deep breaths here. All right, let's go ahead and we'll do our moonflowers and sunflowers, and then we'll move into our sun salutation. So go ahead and take that nice wide stance. Toes turn out about 45 degrees. Inhale, reach the corners of the room. Exhale, bend the knees, bring the elbows into the sides, and inhale, reach up and out. Exhaling as we bend. A couple more, inhale. And exhale. Last one. And exhale, transition to your sunflowers. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, bend the knees, circle the arms down and around as we fold, and inhale, brings us back. Exhaling as we fold. Couple more, inhale. And exhale. Last one. Exhale down, inhale, come back up. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips. Come into your prayer squat, shoulders stack over the hips. Knees in line with the toes. And release, let's inhale it up. Stepping the feet together at the top of the mat. Bringing the hands to the heart. So there's a Chakra 5 sun salutation in my book here. I'm going to modify it a little bit because the one they have in here is really simple. I don't really like it, so I'm going to take some of what they have and then some of what I'm coming up with on my own. So we're going to clasp our hands together. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan back down, forward fold. Inhale, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, fold. Step the right foot back. Stay on the toes or lower the knee. Clasp hands together. Inhale it up. Exhale, release the hands. Step the left foot back. Downward dog or child's pose. Inhale forward into plank. So we're going to change this up a little bit. We're going to drop the knees, the chest, and the chin, and then slide the chest through, coming into cobra. Press back. Downward dog or child's pose. Stepping that right foot up by the hands. Give it some help. Big stuck. Stay on toes or lower the knee. Clasp hands together. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, release. Step your left foot to the front. Inhale, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Clasping hands, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Left foot steps back. Stay on toes or drop the knee, clasp hands, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, release, right foot back, downward dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, slide through into cobra. Press back, downward dog. Left foot steps up by the hands. Stay on toes or drop the knee, clasp hands, inhale, reach it. Exhale, release, right foot steps up. Inhale, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Clasping hands, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Right foot steps back. Stay on toes or lower knees. Clasp hands, inhale, reach. Exhale, release, left foot back. Downward dog or child's pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, Slide the chest through, lift the heart, cobra. Exhale, press back. Downward dog or child's pose. Step that right foot up by the hands. Stand toes or lower the left knee, clasp hands together. Inhale, reach. Exhale, release. Left foot steps up. Inhale, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees. Inhale, reverse one back. Exhale, hands to the heart. All right, one more time. Clasp hands. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold. Left foot to the back. Stand toes or lower knees. Clasp hands. Reach it up. Inhale. Exhale, release. Right foot back. Downward dog or child's pose. Inhale the plank. Exhale, drop knees, chest, chin. Slide the chest through the arms, lift the heart, cobra. And press back. Downward dog or child's pose. Left foot steps up by the hands. Stand toes or drop the knee, clasp hands, reach it up. Inhale. Exhale, release. Right foot steps up. Inhale, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, fold. Soften your knees. Inhale, reverse one dive, come up. Exhale, hands to the heart. And take a few deep breaths here. Open mouth exhales if you need them. Feel free to give a little sigh with that too. Maybe one more. Let it out. Feel your breath returning to normal. We're going to come into a standing camel. So we're going to make this with our hands, and we're going to place them right on our lower back, right on our sacrum, kind of on either side. And then we're going to squeeze the elbows so they point to the back of the mat. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, open. And if your head and your neck is okay with it, you can start to drop your head back, opening up the throat. But if that bothers your neck, then just keep the head in line with the neck, or even you can look forward if you want. And we'll release. Let's fold it forward with soft knees. Grab opposite elbows and hang. Let's release the elbows, place the hands down to frame the foot, step that right foot back. We're going to turn that foot out 45 degrees, dropping the heel. Keep your left knee bent. We'll walk our way up that left leg for Virabhadrasana Echo Warrior One. So if you want to, you can adjust your hips, using your right hand to gently guide your right hip forward. And then whatever arms you like for your Warrior One. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Create space for your neck. And breathe. Let's bring the arms behind the back for Humble Warrior, clasping hands together. Inhale, open the heart, open the throat. Exhale, fold over that left leg. So stopping where you need to. So maybe you need to stop here. Maybe you want to rest your chest right on that thigh. Maybe you want to slide your chest over to the right of the leg. Go a little deeper. Let's tuck the chin, look back at that right foot. Lifting the shoulders up away from the ears, creating space again for your neck. And let's release back into Warrior One. Straightening out the left leg and releasing the hands to the hips. Stepping the right foot up a little closer. If you like to shorten the stance, maybe stepping it out towards the right side of your mat a little bit more. Keeping the hands on the hips, let's inhale, open the heart, open the neck again. Exhale, fold over your left leg, coming into pyramid. So resting your hands on your thigh, your shin. If you have a block, you can bring in a block, or you can place your hands all the way down on the mat. As long as you're not bending your left knee just to get the hands down. Keeping the spine nice and long, maybe adjusting this right hip, using your right hand to slide the right hip forward and down. Bring that right hand back down once you're done with that. Sink a little deeper. Let's go ahead and bend the left knee so we can get our hands down to the mat. Step the right foot back. Take a nice big step back. And then go ahead and lower the knee down to the mat. So we're in a low lunge here. So you want to have your left knee stacked over your left ankle in the front, and the right knee is behind the right hip in the back. And then we'll walk our way up the left leg, clasping hands together on top of the thigh. Let your hips sink down towards the earth. And then we'll fold again, bringing the hands down to frame the foot. And then let's bring this left hand to the right of the foot. So both hands are on the instep side of your foot, moving into lizard. So you can stay here up on your palms. If you want to lower your elbows down to a block or to the mat, if you like, you can also wrap your left arm around your left leg, either with the shoulder kind of above the knee or tucking that shoulder underneath the knee. If you have your left arm wrapped around the leg, go ahead and unwrap it. If you lower it, come back up to your palms. We're going to step this left foot back into downward dog. You could also come into child's pose, or if you want to, you can step back to plank and move through a vinyasa, coming from plank. If you want to do that knees, chest, chin, drop your knees, chest and chin, slide it through, lift the heart cobra, and then press back to downward dog. Or you could do a traditional vinyasa if you like. All right, let's do the other side. So right foot steps up by the hands. Turn your left foot out, drop the heel. Walk your way up that right leg, warrior one, Virabhadrasana Eka. Adjusting those hips if you like, pressing on that left hip, guiding it forward a little bit more. Whatever arms you like. Relax your shoulders. Breathe. Swimming the arms behind the back for a humble warrior, clasping the hands. Inhale, open the heart, open the throat. Exhale, fold. Stopping where you need to. Resting the chest on the thigh if you like, or maybe going a little deeper than that. Keep squaring your hips to the front. Tuck the chin, look back at your left foot. And we'll release back into warrior one. Release hands to hips, straighten out the right leg, step your left foot up a little closer. Maybe step it out towards the left side of your mat a little bit. Inhale, open the heart, open the throat. Exhale, fold over the right leg. Rest your hands on your thigh, your shin, a block, or the mat. Maybe adjust your left hip with your left hand, helping it move a little bit more forward and down. And then releasing that hand down, sinking a little deeper. And then we'll bend the right knee, so get both hands to the mat. Step your left foot back. And then lower the knee, patting the knee as needed with a blanket or a towel. Making sure your right knee is stacked over your right ankle. The left knee is behind the left hip. Walk your way up that right leg. Sink the hips down towards the earth. And then we'll fold over the leg again. Bring both hands down and then bring the right hand to the instep of that right foot. So both hands are on the left of the foot. Moving into that lizard, stay on your palms or lower your elbows to a block or to the mat. Maybe wrap your right arm around the right leg, either with the shoulder above the leg or sliding it underneath the leg. You have the arm wrapped around the leg, go ahead and unwrap it. Come back up to your palms if you lowered. And then let's make our way back to downward dog, child's pose, or if you want to, step back to plank and do the regular vinyasa or do the knees, chest, chin, slide the chest through, come into cobra, and then make your way back to downward facing dog. And then from here, we'll just drop the knees and come into a full child's pose. Bring your hands back by your feet, palms face up, release the forehead. All right, we're going to go ahead and sit up and then come up onto our knees for a kneeling camel. So if being on your knees isn't working out for you today, feel free to do something else in place of kneeling camel, your favorite seated or lying down pose. If you want to stand up and do a standing balance, that's fine too. So you can either have the tops of your feet down, you can tuck your toes under. We're going to do this 2 times. We're going to start with fists like we did for our standing camel. So placing our fists on either side of our sacrum, squeezing our elbows together so they point to the back. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, open the heart. And again, if you feel like your neck is okay with it, you can drop your head back. Open up the throat. And we'll release. Come back into that full child's pose. Rest your forehead, hands back by the feet. Let your shoulders release. So we'll do that one more time. Come back up onto the knees. So we're going to start with the fists on the low back, but then I'm going to give you the option to reach back for your heels. So start with your toes tucked under. If you're reaching back for the heels, you can flatten out your feet if you can go a little bit further today and you want to. So let's start with our fists, place them on either side, squeeze those elbows together. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, open the heart. Dropping the head back if you want. Maybe reaching back for your heels one at a time. You might need to lean back slightly. Once you grab the heels though, bring your hips back over your knees. Maybe untuck your toes. And we'll release. Come back into that full child's pose. Hands back by the feet. Palms face up. And we'll go ahead and sit up. Taking the legs around to the front. Coming into staff pose, Dandasana, extending those legs out long. So because we've done a lot of heart opening, chest opening stuff, we're going to take a more yin version of our forward fold. So we are going to let the back round. Okay, normally I'm telling you to keep your spine neutral, but this time I'm going to tell you to keep your back, to round your back. If you happen to have a block and you have it handy, you can place a block on top of your legs and then rest your forehead on the block, which makes this even more relaxing. So your feet and your legs should be relaxed, your hands rest by your side. So just rest your forehead, or if you don't have a block, this is fine too. You can just hang, but it feels really nice if you can actually rest your forehead on something. And it doesn't have to be a block. If you have a blanket or a pillow nearby, you can kind of use that. Anything will do. And we'll go ahead and release by just slowly rolling it up. We're going to bring our hands back behind our hips, and we're going to bend our knees. We're going to come into a reverse table. Okay, so feet are hip width apart, hands are behind us with our fingertips pointed towards us. And then we're going to lift the hips up. And again, you can protect your neck by either tucking your chin into your chest or looking straight up. Or if you want, you can drop the head back if that is available to you today and you feel like it's going to be okay for your neck. I'm going to go ahead and keep my head kind of level with the rest of my spine. And we'll go ahead and release. So we're going to do another pose like that. If you want to stick with the reverse table, keep your knees bent and just repeat. If you want to do a reverse plank, extend your legs and then lift the hips up again. And release. All right, so one of the poses that's really going to stimulate that throat area, well, a type of pose is our shoulder stand series. So I'm going to tell you first, if you have any issues with your neck, your upper back, you don't want to come into a shoulder stand if you have, you know, high blood pressure. If there's any type of reason why you should not do a shoulder stand today, your option is legs up the wall, which is a great inversion. If you have a block, you can do that supported bridge instead of these next poses. Okay, so before we begin, also I want to let you know, once you have your hips up, you want to keep your head still. So if you need to see what I'm doing, release out of the pose, take a look at your screen, see what I'm doing, and then come back into it. Do not try and turn your head while your hips are up. Okay, so we want to really protect the neck. So we're going to come onto the back. And we're going to tuck our shoulders underneath us one at a time. So kind of rock yourself from side to side and tuck those shoulders underneath you so that you're basically lifting your spine up off of the mat even before you've lifted your hips. So there should be a pocket of space underneath your back. And then you're going to bring your hands up, ready to catch your hips, okay? And then using some momentum in your core strength, rock your hips up into your hands and come into your half shoulder stand. Okay, so half shoulder stand, you're sort of making a sideways V with your body, resting your weight in your hands. It's a fairly open pose in terms of being able to breathe. It's not super energetic. So this is where I like to start for this shoulder stand series. So if you want to, just go ahead and feel free to stay here in this half shoulder stand. If you want to progress to full shoulder stand, engage your core, lift your legs straight up toward the ceiling, try to create a straight line from your toes down to your shoulders, squeezing your legs together. So a lot more energy in this pose than our half shoulder stand. Your hands are going to Come up a little higher on your back. Glutes are engaged, quads engaged. A little deeper bend at the neck. And then from here, we can bring our feet overhead, coming into Plow Pose. So your feet may or may not touch the floor. It's fine if they don't. If they don't touch, please leave your hands on your back. If they do touch, you have the option to release your hands down, maybe clasp your hands together. I actually like to rock my shoulders underneath each other, or underneath my back a little bit more once I have them clasped together behind my back. And it is a little tough to breathe in this pose. Think about breathing into the back of your lungs. And think about it, if we flip this pose over, this would be a seated forward fold, and you can breathe fine in a seated forward fold. It's just because we're upside down that maybe it's a little bit uncomfortable. So breathe into the backs of your lungs. And then if your hands are not on your back, bring them back to your back for support, back to the back. And then start to release out of your Plow Pose, coming down one vertebrae at a time. Use your hands to slow your descent. And then from here, we're going to make our way into fish, which is our counter pose. So options for fish, you can have your legs bent, soles of the feet together with your knees out to the side. If you're able to come into a full lotus while you're laying on your back, that's awesome, go for it. Or you can have your legs straight, which is actually my preference. I like to have my legs straight in this pose. Hands come down next to our hips, and then we're going to rock from side to side, sliding our forearms underneath our body so that you're laying on your forearms, your palms are down. Come up to the elbows, look at your toes, and then lift the heart up toward the ceiling, dropping the head back. Maybe resting either the back of the head or the top of the head, or if you're me, the top of my bun on the mat, but very little weight is actually on your head. Most of it supported on your forearms. And then we'll release, pick the head up, tuck the chin in, come all the way down onto the back, hug the knees into the chest. Let's take some little rocks from side to side. Placing hands on knees, take the knees around in a circle, first in one direction. And then in the opposite direction. Coming back to center, let's extend arms out to a T position. Palms can be up or down. Either drop both knees over to your right, or if you want, cross your left leg over your right thigh first, and then take the knees down to the right, keeping both shoulders on the mat, maybe looking down your left arm. And then releasing and switching sides. So if you cross legs one way, cross on the other way. And then we'll take the legs over to the left. Maybe look down your right arm. Keep your right shoulder down. And then we'll release. Uncrossing the legs if they're crossed, hugging the knees into the chest. Bring your forehead up to meet the knees. Squeeze everything in nice and tight. And releasing it all down. So we're going to prepare ourselves for Shavasana, final relaxation. So if you want to put your layers on, your socks, your sweatshirts, if you have a blanket you'd like to cover up with, be my guest. If you don't want to stay for Shavasana, that's fine. It's a little bit of a longer one today to go along with all the chakra meditations. They're just a little bit longer than the normal one. So finding whatever comfortable position you'd like to take for your meditation today. You can lie down, you can be seated, you can do legs up the wall, whatever works for you today. Take a long, deep breath. As you exhale, move your attention to your throat and imagine a sapphire blue light. The blue glow of the chakra spreads like a vibration or a pulse from your throat to fill your neck and head first, and then the rest of your body. Imagine walking through a forest on a narrow path that is lined on both sides by huge shade-giving trees. You hear the sounds of insects, small animals scurrying around, of happily chirping birds. In the distance, a stream flowing over its rocky bed makes a pleasant gurgling sound. You find a small clearing with a giant log that has fallen on the forest floor. You walk up to it and sit with your back resting against the log. The sounds of the forest become even more evident to you. There is a magical quality to them, and you can now hear the faintest of sounds. The whole forest is playing a symphony, especially for you. Now see your fifth chakra spinning and gaining strength. As it spins faster, blue light washes over you and pervades every part of your body. Breathe deeply and feel the energy funneling into your throat, which is bursting with dazzling blue light. Rest in this awareness. And start to wiggle fingers and toes. Circling ankles and wrists. Reaching the arms up overhead, just stretch and release. Knees are rolling to one side or hugging the knees into the chest. Taking a few deep breaths as we prepare to come up to seated. When you're ready, making your way into any comfortable seat you choose to finish your practice today. Sitting up nice and tall and dropping the chin to the chest. Taking the right ear towards the right shoulder. And left ear to left shoulder. Bringing the head up, taking the hands behind the head, looking all the way up. And release. So before we do our 3 deep breaths and our namaste, we're going to do 3 ohms again to finish our throat chakra practice. So nice deep inhale. Bring the hands to heart center. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.